Honestly, I really wanted this video out a month ago. However, I was working on the year review video, the holidays were happening, and I got a case of COVID, so it all ends up being a bit later than I wanted it to be. But alright, let's talk about Studio Mappa for a bit. Back in the fall season, Mappa was under a bit of fire for how they managed the production of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, or rather, how they managed their animators. With countless of the animators complaining in public spaces like Twitter, no, I'm not calling it X, that is stupid, saying that they are done with the company. Now sure, it's not like the entire studio of Mappa was on fire, as it is divided in several groups, and it was mainly the Jujutsu Kaisen division that was struggling. However, the other groups had to jump in to help, along with the usual heavy outsourcing Mappa partakes in and the freelancers they hire. And if the latter are getting turned off from working with you, you might struggle to recruit people for future projects. To be honest, it is amazing how the end result still looked as good as it did, even though you can see some hiccups here and there if you played close attention. But when you get big YouTubers saying that each new fight and episode you get a delightful surprise, because they have different animators each episode, and not acknowledge it is not because of the choice but because they're churning through animators that fast, then you are being disingenuous and ignoring the bigger picture at hand. Now sure, you aren't bold to have to say anything about the hellish production issues, and keep all your fans informed about this, but to ignore the issues and keep praising the hellish production to the masters, and claiming it is the best show of the year despite the issues going on, that doesn't sit right with me either. And let's not forget that the key scene in episode 22 of season 2 was done by someone who was 16 years old, who had apologized on Twitter for minor mistakes in animating someone hardly would notice. Now sure, it's a different culture, but I don't believe a 16-year-old should work on a project of this magnitude, especially not for a company this abusive. The kid is being subjected to all the wrong standards, and if they accept these as the norm, I fear for the later work conditions he's going to get exposed to. You did great, kid, it looks amazing, but don't throw all your eggs in a basket that's starting to rot. With your talent, you can find much better working places. And funnily enough, this is not even the first time this happens to the exact same show either, as something similar happened in the first season. Now sure, it is great that he had this opportunity, but I can't help but feel it's thinly veiled child labor, and everyone is seemingly fine with it. Though, instead of this being talked about, the fight that he animated got praised by being the best for the year instead. It's quite funny how that goes, isn't it? But okay, sure, what lies the issue in this, you might wonder? Is it the higher-ups in the production committee putting down too harsh of a deadline, or is this a monster of Mappa's own creation? The answer to that is relatively simple, as it is Mappa themselves picking up way too many projects to work on in too little time. Just have a look at this interview with Mappa's president where he said the following. Now, I'm not an expert, but it doesn't seem like rocket science that you can't expect to replicate the results of studios that have been operating for decades, by the way, in only 5 to 10 years, while subjecting the employees to horrible conditions and make them work themselves to near death. Ufotable and Kyoto Animation, the studios he mentioned here, got to this point because they've been delivering amazing products for over 20 years now. And get this, while treating their employees like humans, a novel idea, isn't it? They built up their reputation for years and it is well deserved, and you can't fast track your way to success by taking on more projects than any other studio, while disregarding the well-being of the actual workforce. A part of me hopes that this goes wrong somewhere soon and that he gets humbled, and that they need to delay his show for production reasons or whatever, which in turn makes him realize that this is not the correct way to go about things, and things go better for everyone in the future. How long this train wreck of production issues is going to continue is anyone's guess really. Maybe they'll learn after Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. Maybe, but they probably do not and it just continues. As of the time of making this video, instead of having recognized the issues at hand, they quickly announced even more projects. Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, Dorohedoro Season 2 and the J-Sandman movie. There were reports that the employees managed to animate the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero movie in 4 months, a record time, and not because that was a deadline, but by honest hard work. I can't wait to hear that 4 months is going to be the deadline for the animators of this new movie however, because you can do that, can't you? You did it before, so it would be really great if you did it again. Any week going over the deadline is going to be deducted from your salary. I feel for these people, I really do. Now let's face it, I know no one involved with Mappa or the industry is going to see this nor care. But I really hope they aren't setting a bad standard here, because production committees can think they can get away with deadlines like this, thanks to Mappa's behavior, because that is only going to harm the industry at large. And the anime industry is already a bad place with underpaid and overworked animators. No studio is safe from this, though they are the better ones that Mappa aims to be. Though they might not get there with this mindset, try as you might, but you'll probably find that out sooner or later. I also have to acknowledge that we can say what we want about it, but no anime fan in the West will be able to change any of the problems prevalent in the industry. It would be a great thing if more studios, not only Mappa mind you, pre-produced their shows instead of sticking to the weekly production schedule, which might help, but that's not going to happen anytime soon, I'm afraid. At least there are some studios out there that do this, and they actually think and care about their employees. What a crazy idea that is. I think that about wraps up this, let's face it, rant. I don't really like making a video like this, as it is just a rant and nothing is going to be improved anywhere. But I had to complain about this for a little bit, as none of the big anime-tubers really seem to give it much attention, all while calling Jujutsu Kaisen the best show of the year and praising its animation. Sure, in the end it looked great, but the complaints have been visible enough it feels wrong to turn a blind eye to them. Also, I'm not telling you what and what not to do. I'm not telling you to boycott Mappa or anything silly like that, just keep on enjoying your anime. As Western anime fans, the anime industry is not something we can really change in the end, so I won't condemn you for liking their anime. Hell, I still enjoy some of the shows they produce, so whatever. You're free to agree, disagree, or call me a dum-dum in the comments, it's all fine. As I said, I just had to vent for a bit in a video that probably no one is going to see anyway. This was my name is Sora, and hope to see you next time, in a more positive video hopefully. Thank you for watching.